Welcome back to Campfire Chronicles. A whole lot of housekeeping has to be said before we really get rolling with this. First and foremost, happy birthday on Saturday, Ashley.
That's right.
Another old lady year.
It's all relative.
I bought 2 bottles of wine today so I could drink myself stupid.
That's how you feel. That's how old you feel.
I feel old.
Oh.
Well,
My bones hate me, okay?
I'm sure we'll all be stupid at Sinister Creature Con in 2 weeks.
Hell yeah. Can't wait.
Except for Andrew, because today is Andrew's last podcast.
For a while.
I'm actually dying.
Well,
Wait
wait a minute. He could always call in. And,
We tried that.
We tried it
last
last
summer,
year, and it was just confusing.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew got high and didn't want to say that he was high.
I was sober until after I tried to do that with you, then I had to get high.
Kane, will you replay it?
Andrew, I think you're
I was not. That was... God damn it, no one believes me when I'm sober. Fucking bullshit.
He doesn't make much sense when he's sober. He makes
No,
more
I don't.
sense
Well,
when he's high.
Yeah. It's like a 50-50.
I feel like I've had better, more intellectual conversation with you when you're high.
Concentrate really hard.
And the third bit of news is that Charlie will pop his panel pussy cherry at Sinister
God.
Creature Con
After we just watched, he should be popping his...
because the first official panel,
Joe Bob Briggs.
the first official panel announcement for Sinister Creature Con Spring, Charlie Williams interviewing Joe Bob Briggs. But let's not forget who else is on that card, Charlie, coming for you like a main event at WrestleMania.
right.
More anticipation than any wrestling pay-per-view in the last 10 years. Charlie Williams. Educator, father, grandfather, hunt enthusiast, podcast co-host,
Classic.
Writer.
Writer.
Panel
Yeah, don't
host.
forget the writer.
Writer.
Accomplished writer. Actor. Protagonist. Sexy fucking
goes one-on-one in the parking lot against Jason motherfucking Voorhees himself, Victor Crowley, and a shitload of other roles he's done at some point in time. Kane Hodder.
Are you really interviewing him?
No.
That's why you got the shirt.
I was gonna say, dude.
Well, I'd like to change my opinion about Jason.
After Sleepaway Camp?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it makes it any better.
No, but I think Jimmy knows how we felt when we saw Jason X now. Because he's seen Sleepaway Camp, and Sleepaway Camp is Jimmy's Jason X.
I mean, I don't know, because none of us enjoyed
I
Sleepaway
think
Camp.
Jason
No.
goes. I
See,
think Jason Goes to Hell is everybody's Jason X.
one person enjoyed Jason. None of... Did you? You didn't like it.
When I was younger, I mean, it's enjoyable. but
Okay,
it's
as a
not-
grown man, Jason X.
It's not one of the better ones.
Oh, god damn it, don't you. So these two.
John, don't backtrack.
You're on a slippery slope, alright?
The one thing Jimmy said about Jason X that I always agree with is the kills in that one.
Oh, but they're iconic kills.
I mean, the freezing the face and smashing it on the counter is
Well, you know,
freaking awesome.
even in Sleepaway Camp, we found some stuff that actually was...
The boiling the man alive was kind of great.
The practical effects are very good.
Yeah.
Was there a dick
For
monster?
There was so many dicks.
No.
Just everywhere.
It wasn't a dick
No.
monster.
I said a dick monster.
No.
You know what? There was a guy who wore the shortest shorts. I couldn't look at his face. I was just staring at his dick the whole time.
So much terrified concern on his face.
They were real dicks. Let's get that straight. Dick monsters.
What'd you name this movie, Charlie? What'd you name it?
I said
The real
instead of-
monster was the pedophile.
Hold on a sec. But let Charlie
Well, I
name the
said
movie.
instead of Sleepaway Camp, they should call it Tuckaway Dick Camp. Because it was all these
Jesus Christ.
80s
The tuck.
80s Barbarino
There was one guy.
wannabes.
Like, halfway through the movie, they just stopped trying to conceal the dick.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And then we just all stared.
There's a 45-second scene
you know
of
what,
a dude
though?
running with no underwear, and his dick is
think
just
about it.
flopping for Christ's sake.
Very relative to the ending of that movie.
Right.
So good job. Kudos.
This
Kudos
movie-
made me look at a bunch of dicks.
That's all because that long pan out
At the end. Yeah.
This movie actually
to
has
reveal some dick.
the most pervy line I have ever, I swear to God, I have ever heard in any horror film.
I don't even
When
know what you're
this-
going to say right now.
Oh, the first.
Well,
it's
this
like the
old-
first 5 minutes of the film.
That old
Yes.
That's the end.
cook, there's a cook who's probably like about 35 or 40,
Oh,
who's
yeah.
fat and overweight, and he's watching all the kids come to camp. Now you gotta Sleepaway Camp is one of the few movies where kids are actually playing their age.
Yeah, they're all like 14.
They're all like 14,
That's like
15 years
the
old.
oldest.
Because I think I remember watching a thing where I'm pretty sure the main girl, where she had never seen a dick.
Yeah, she's like 14 years
Yeah,
old.
she'd never known like anything about a penis until this
Right.
movie, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's in your face.
I mean, literally
Well, this
in
is,
your face the whole time.
well, this is all setting the stage for the previous line. Because this guy is standing and looking at these kids bouncing off of the bus
That's why I couldn't stop staring at.
and bouncing off the
Red Johnson.
Yeah.
The little girls are bouncing
Perfect
off the bus, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's what we call the baldies."
Wow.
Now, have
Yeah.
you
I said
ever-
what? And then Charlie goes, "Yeah, no, you heard that." And I was like, and Jimmy's like, "I don't know what you guys are talking about." I was like, he did not just refer to 13-year-olds as baldies.
You know what's even worse? It took me about 10 minutes to get that out. Everybody kept interrupting me. It took me 10 minutes.
He's so
Literally.
mortified by it already that we had to make him relive it for
I
10
know
minutes.
it.
I'm sorry,
And
Charlie.
I will never. I'll never say it again.
You should.
But that is the
You should.
previous.
Damn, Charlie really is happy you're leaving for a couple minutes.
I wasn't the only one talking.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Just ignore the old man.
I was not ignoring
The
you.
old man is irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Oh, irreverent?
Can't even
Andrew-
talk anymore.
Andrew really had to just piss Charlie off one more podcast
You know what?
before going away.
I had to.
No, it's okay. I really don't hold it against Andrew because I know that's how he is.
Oh my god.
But
Wait,
They just kept showing me pictures of dicks, dude. I didn't know what to do.
I know. What can I say?
So I didn't see the movie, so I'm trying to get visuals here so that I can get this
there's-
film.
There's so many
There's
visuals.
So
not-
I officially now know who Red Johnson is. That's what his name is going to be from now on. Red Johnson. His little red booty shorts.
He
We
always
barely
Man
even started digging
Johnson.
into this movie.
if you haven't discerned it by this point, we're talking about Sleepaway Camp because Felicia Rose is a guest at Sinister Creature Con.
How traumatized was she by the dicks?
They made 3 of these movies.
That's 5.
There's
Oh,
five.
Jesus.
This director only did the first and the last one.
So
But
is
yeah.
6 going to be like Viagra Red Johnson or what?
I mean, he doesn't die in the first one.
Dude, there's actually some. There was a questionable kill where we all were like, dude, are they really gonna do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was.
It was a psycho
It's
kill
a
too.
little.
You know, we all know.
I know you. We
But-
probably know what happened.
They even they lifted the curling iron, dude.
You know, I think there's another.
Was it the bathroom?
No, the curling iron one.
It was the girl in her cot.
Yeah.
In her bunk.
So what it insinuates is that she shoves a curling iron up the chick's vagina.
Wow.
And it's like Psycho style, like there's a shadow.
It goes,
Well, kind of. There's a pillow over the girl's feet. And how to make Charlie blush? Yeah, murder by vagina.
I don't think there was the pumping action, John.
I mean, the hands did this
I think
though.
it was
Just
just.
one long burn.
I think it was just
One long,
insertion.
just a one pump chump. That's.
But thank you for that graphic. Because that.
no problem.
Yeah, that was very.
He said very psycho.
That was very.
I mean, I was trying to tell you about the shadows, but you started going into the fucking.
You ran with it, John.
Yeah.
Very robotic.
It's more like
Yeah. No, it was just long.
Yeah.
oh, it was a slow burn.
Yeah, it was a slow burn. The definition of a slow burn would be that. Because there would be nothing longer or more painful.
Which is also true for this movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of vagina attacks in this season of Campfire Chronicles so
I want
far.
to go be a camp counselor right now.
Between Terrifier and this.
Oh, the Terrifier. Oh, God.
Yeah,
They
that's
cut it in
true.
half, huh?
They cut right down the center.
That's
Goddamn.
So this movie starts out with two kids and they flip over a boat and then another boat, which
Was it to prank
Is
the
it their
dad?
father or their
fuck if I know, man.
uncle?
But these other kids are water skiing and it doesn't really have any bearing on the movie whatsoever, other than that the water skiing kids run over the dad
Or
and
the uncle?
or the uncle.
I think it's the dad.
It is the dad, okay.
Because then they go to live with the
Oh, that's
aunt.
true.
Hey, I need to watch this movie. There's a lot of ass in this movie.
There is.
Yeah, but you don't
Literally-
really want.
I mean, yeah, no, that's a scene.
Yeah, that's scene.
I can watch them going away.
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of just them standing there.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys packing heat in this movie too. Like it's, I mean, it's a solid. There's a lot of solid dick.
But it's like,
I don't know how to put that. I mean, this is.
Solid dick.
I mean,
so they hired a lot.
I mean, there was one scene where the guy literally had it tucked into his it's like bent this way.
And it was in his waist.
It was. It really was. I was like, holy cow. I am sitting there. I'm like, I can't even look at this guy's face anymore because all I see is his crotch, and I just stare at it every time he came on scene. Red Johnson was just like, I'm like, I don't even know what he's saying.
So they hired them for their dicks.
I mean,
It could have been that. Could have been that. Let's put it this way: the dicks did a better job acting. than the actors did.
yeah, they definitely get more performance.
They just did their part.
You know what? That's all. Some of the, I mean, there's the sleepaway stare.
Yeah, she's not. She apparently this is her thing. The sleepaway camp stare is what she's known for, and that
There it
Andrew
is.
has it right there. Of course, Andrew's thinking about this dick.
There's just so many.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Jimmy, do you not really have anything to say?
Jimmy just ended up with a dick in his mouth, and that's why he can't stop.
I mean,
So the father dies.
so the father's dead.
Yeah.
And then fast forward like 10 years and these kids are going to camp and the girl is super weird and she's awkward around the other girls. There's this bitch, Judy, who's like more developed. By the way, just saying that makes me feel very uncomfortable because these girls are all like 13 years
Yeah,
old.
they're all age appropriate, which is unusual for me.
Yeah, because it's like basically a preteen camp.
It is. And for that reason, you do not see any female nudity
But you
in
see
this movie. at
dude
all.
ass all over.
You see dude ass, you see
And-
no boobs, you see
Is
no-
that, wait, is it a kid's dick? At the end?
Right?
Yeah, well, no,
I mean,
think it's
technically
like
it's a 14-year-old's dick, right?
But I think it's an appliance.
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
even implying with an appliance, a 14-year-old.
I know, the whole idea is kind of distasteful, yeah. If you think about the whole thing that's going on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm thinking really hard about
Yeah.
it.
That's why we're all worried.
Fuck you.
so they go to camp and everyone's picking on. I don't even remember what her name is.
Angela.
Angela. Everyone's picking on Angela because she's like. It's almost like she's autistic. She won't speak, and she's not really eating.
She's just kind of a bitch.
The movie gets super uncomfortable right away when they say, "Let me take you to the theater or to the kitchen, and we'll find you something good to eat." And the chef, who's like 300 pounds, immediately tries to take his pants off and rape her. And the cousin comes in, and the chef starts beating the shit out of the cousin, and they run away. And that's just kind of the tone of this film.
Yeah, like, if you want to be very uncomfortable about, like...
There are some strange scenes.
There are. The fucking rooftop?
There's like the one scene where the attractive female counselor that must be like 17, 18 years old
Is gonna bang the old guy?
is
Yeah.
gonna bang the old guy who's like 60 years old and just falling apart.
Oh, yeah.
And really an ugly old bastard. And she
I mean, Charlie
makes
was
this
like...
date.
He could have
And
nailed
I
it.
thought, Jesus, I wish I was that guy.
Oh, fuck. That was the best ending to it.
So so these kids start dying, but there's not a whole lot of like pattern other than like they were mean to Angela at one point in time. Like one guy says she's retarded, so she drowns him.
Yeah.
One girl throws her into the lake. That's the one that was going to bone the old guy. So she...
Don't forget about her overly aggressive cousin, too.
her overly aggressive cousin.
The little boy that
Yeah.
protects her. The boy that
Well-
always stands up for her is her cousin.
Which then gets murdered by the council?
No, he survives, but the camp director is convinced that
He's the one.
he's the one killing people for
Right.
whatever reason. I
What's his name? Ricky.
Because he's
don't
the one,
understand that.
He's the one who's standing up for her, and whoever's
always-
mean to her, he confronts them or wants to fight them. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wasn't helping her, right?
he was trying to.
no, he was always standing up.
No, I mean,
for
like,
her.
Oh,
murder.
kill?
no, he
No,
wasn't.
I don't
No,
think
he
so.
wasn't.
Because the guy said he always saw him in the same place where everyone was dead, so.
Right.
But maybe he just saw.
Um,
And you're assuming that he knew the secret, that she had been raised.
so there,
Yeah.
but there's the
cat's
scene
out
where
of
they're
the-
like in bed together.
Dicks out of the back.
That's true. The dick is out of the back.
Jesus.
You can't talk about this movie without talking
Do you
about
think?
dicks.
Do you think that he knew? Because there's that weird scene where the boy and her are in the bed, and the boy's just pointing at her,
Yeah.
and the camera's just rotating around the bed.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Was that their parents?
No, remember they actually
There's like them like laughing there.
saw it wasn't their parents, it was two gay guys, right?
Yeah, what was the deal with that?
Was one of them the guy that got ran over by the boat?
No.
No, I thought the guy at the bottom was the guy that got hit by the boat. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Honest God, I don't know.
That whole scene didn't. I mean, it was a really cool.
I didn't think so.
It was a cool looking
Yeah,
scene.
there was no
But, like,
explanation.
You talking about
Yeah.
the gay guys banging each other? That was
Yeah.
a cool looking scene.
Yeah. The camera angle was just circling
unless-
around. God damn it, Jimmy.
Unless that was
Hey, gay love's beautiful too, right?
okay. Because the aunt talks about the husband no longer being there, and she's dingy as shit. I thought that maybe that was her husband, and they had walked in on her husband with a guy, and that's why the aunt.
Wait, so that's what they call mom. Oh, because So maybe that was her parents then.
That was the little boy's mom.
Yeah, but so maybe the gay couple was her parents.
Sure.
I don't think so.
But it was
It
the dad
never
and the
really
uncle?
explains it, but I think that may have been the little boy's dad. That they may have at some point gone to stay with his dad
Okay.
and walked in, because they're separated. The parents are separated.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
And
Were they separated? Did they make that?
yeah, she says that your father is gone or something. She makes some reference to the idea that there's no father in the house.
So it's the dude who got plowed over by the boat. Has to be.
That's right.
Well, that wasn't the uncle though, was it? Wasn't that the dad?
That was her dad, right?
His
Yeah, it was
dad.
her dad.
Okay.
So that means it was
Obviously,
the
there's
dad
some-
was banging the uncle.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
I don't think so.
We're really gonna say that's weird.
I think
that's
the dad is dead.
like, if you want to draw the fucking line somewhere, we crossed it like 30 seconds into
Oh
this
my
fucking
god,
movie.
didn't we?
I mean, yeah,
The
no,
dad-
they crossed it. Yeah, like the 20 minutes, right?
Right.
Someone's car alarm.
Didn't that happen last time?
Yeah.
Different
I
car.
don't know what the hell happened.
So
This is the last time Joe Buck here.
Angela, like halfway through this, starts getting friendly with this blonde-haired.
Through the door. Got some short in it or something.
Jump there.
Oh.
So, you did it.
It stopped.
Okay.
Enthralling stuff.
We do some exciting things, not just dicks.
So this, I don't do dicks. Period. I don't know how many dicks you've done.
All the dicks.
All the dicks. It's just a glory of dicks,
Oh,
right?
just slapping everywhere.
Oh, Andrew.
So
Let's see what this movie has done to us.
it's ripped us apart.
Like a Catholic family.
Cane ticket.
Dicks? Where were we? Okay, so pervy fucking
Talk about
cook.
the,
We're kind of skipping around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
there was a really funny scene where one of the lifeguards, like, all the kids fucking, like, put the chairs and shit in the water, and he's, like, running around grabbing it all, and as
Dude, he's so angry.
He's so mad. It's like a real scene. Like, he really was the guy who had to pick this shit up, and they filmed it because he's falling over mad. He's trying to fucking throw shit out.
Yeah, there's that scene, and then all of a sudden there's this scene where, for whatever reason, all the boys decided it would be a cool idea to climb up on the roof to throw water bottles
yeah.
at each other.
Water balloons.
But they're throwing each other again. Homosexual undertones, like they're fucking
No,
having a
there's not-
water
there's
fight
not
in the
undertone
gayest
about it.
way.
Yeah, no,
Like
it's
they're trying to
very
hit each other
over.
in the dick with water
The
balloons.
dick.
So, like, and it's not like you need any help seeing their dicks outlined in their fucking shorts.
John,
But they're getting hit.
Andrew hit it when he said they're not undertones. They are overtones.
Yeah, there. I
It
mean,
is over.
I think Ashley was just showing pictures, and she was just like.
But I do think the gayest thing is the dolly shot of following a dude, and it goes from side, and the camera makes its way around to get the front view of this dude jogging in running shorts with no kind of fucking support, and his dick is just fucking flopping everywhere, and it's a good 45 seconds to a minute of this dude fucking running, and his fucking cock is just
Yeah,
Maybe.
let's choose a different one.
Maybe they wanted to break
No,
the
I
barrier.
like the gospel. I like the way he said
Maybe
it.
they wanted to break the barrier with this
When
horror
it's
film,
flapping, when
because
it's flapping in the
every
wind.
other thing shows
That's what you have to
women.
use.
So
It's no longer a
maybe
dick
they're
when it
like,
comes to cock.
we're gonna make a movie for girls.
Dicks sit there,
Well, we've already
pointedly,
we've already
cocks move around.
we've already set a record for saying dick.
I think we might. I
So
think
That's
let's-
all this movie
Let's
is.
refer
It's
to it
literally-
as cock
Cock,
from this point on.
okay.
That's
or
what I'm saying.
Johnson, or
I
Willie.
wonder if
or-
they kind of made this.
Purple-headed yogurt slinger.
I wonder if they made this in hopes that they would get a large female crowd in attendance. Because normally with guys, when a horror movie comes on, you're looking for boobs, and in this case, it's all.
I don't
Well,
know.
I don't even.
Was this
Charlie
like the
looks
first?
for the actual horror in the horror movie, not the whores in
Well,
the horror movie.
So, this movie was 80, wait,
This is-
83.
this is
83,
true.
okay.
I'm
so-
actually older than this movie by 5 months.
So this movie has 22 critic reviews, and that's an 82%, and 17,000 audience reviews for 60%.
Which I just flabbergasts me. But we said that this movie has a couple of things going for it in spite of how crappy it is.
It's not
One
it's
is
just
the
weird.
practical effects.
Yeah.
And two is the ending, which if they had made a better movie that came before the ending,
Yeah.
would have been really impactful.
If there's some type of
With the
linear
twist.
storyline that made sense, right? Like, I mean, they just kind of patched a bunch of different scenes together, and you're like, the fuck is happening? I guess it's like summer camp, so like, I guess you kind of like, that summer camp movies are always kind of weird like that,
Yeah.
right? So,
Like Wet Hot.
What was the other movie, the mainstream movie that had that gender reveal at the end? Do you remember which one I'm talking
There was
about?
The Orphanage, where you think it's a midget girl and it's
Oh,
a guy.
It wasn't this isn't a horror film. This is a film where this guy, you think he's in love with this girl through the whole movie, and at the end of the movie you find out that the girl is really a guy. And it was a mainstream movie, and it got a lot of attention. And it had an ending scene that was similar to the ending scene in this one. Or a scene towards the end of the movie. But anyway, I think this movie predates it. So that would have really made it impactful because it hadn't
Yeah.
been done. You know, so.
Well, like I said, how much dick was really shown in movies back in the 80s.
That's true too. That is very
Fly
true.
is pissing me off.
So that's why I was wondering if it was one of those things.
Very
where,
little dick, if you'll excuse the.
I thought we were going for cock. I thought it was cock now.
Oh, very little cock.
The thing about this movie too is that the casting call it must have been like, you need to at least have a 9-inch penis.
Well, yeah, probably.
Let me see, like, whip out your wiener and then
So I
we'll
told you,
run
they
some
probably
lines.
hired people by their dicks.
Well,
Maybe they set out to make a porn and then something went wrong. And they're like, oh no, we're just stuck with a movie. Like,
here's
Any
the-
guy who writes in a screenplay a 13-year-old girl is called a baldy. Like,
there's something wrong there.
how is this
That
getting
is wrong.
pushed through to the fucking movie theater?
Yeah, right.
what's the 80s?
It is the 80s and
Back to the Future's in the 80s. They ain't calling fucking bitches baldies there.
Was that before they had PG-13?
It was 83.
No.
I'm pretty sure they've had
they had
PG-13.
PG-13,
Well,
but
PG-13 came out with Indiana Jones,
right.
the second one.
Well, wasn't that?
Temple of Doom came out, then that's when
That
they
must
brought
have been
in-
about the same time, huh?
Could have
It
been.
was about 80, 81, 82, 83, something like that.
This needs to be an R. Like, it's not PG-13. It's
Well, no,
R.
no, no. What I
or-
meant was they only had PG, then they had R, so
But
they were
some of
letting
these
R
came
get
out-
away with a lot.
84
came
is
out
when Temple of Doom
unrated.
came out.
So it came out before. So,
Some came out unrated too.
yeah.
Some movies, and this is at the height of video, right?
Yeah.
So this is when movies are starting to be direct to video too.
PG rating when it was introduced July 1st, 1984. 84, sorry.
Well,
And the first film to be released with the rating was Red Dawn.
Wolverines.
Dicks
That's
out
PG-13.
for Harambe.
Indiana Jones was the first one to come out with a PG rating.
I think Derek would
Yeah.
walk out.
Red Dawn was a PG-13
Yeah,
rating.
but it was because of Temple of Doom that they're like,
Derek
we
would
need
have
to
either
come up with
demanded
another
we
rating.
turn it off or leave. Derek
That's
running the mail.
probably true.
Hey gang, the rest of the guest lineup for Sinister Creature Con. Let's change the mood a little bit, for Christ's sake.
Really?
Dicks out, Jimmy!
Saturday only, he's Flash Gordon. You don't have to see his penis, I promise. Sam Jones.
Unless you ask really nice.
Sinister Creature
So will the
Con.
girl from Sleepaway Camp, will she sign?
Probably.
Can we bring a male prosthetic in this either?
The Crypt Keeper himself. The Crypt Keeper
Martin just whipped his
himself
dick
A
out.
14-year-old.
returns to Sinister Creature Con. John Kassir will put on a show, I guarantee you, at Sinister Creature Con. You want to talk about a woman who doesn't have a dick? Louina Quigley. She's coming to Sinister Creature Con, and Charlie's Peter meter is already perking on up. We watched him saw a girl from vagina to forehead. Ashley will probably not even be in the same room as him, especially if he shows up in costume, which is a rumor. David Howard Thornton is coming
Fuck
to Sinister Creature
that.
Con.
I'm gonna set his ass on fire.
Charlie is going to cry multiple times over the course of the weekend. The first, like we mentioned, his hero, the horror host of horror hosts, minus Elvira, Joe Bob Briggs, coming to Sinister
Bob.
Creature Con.
I have to buy a pair of cowboy boots because I don't want him to be like 5 inches taller than me. Guy's big.
The best male, or the best female and male of Sleepaway Camp, Felicia Rose, coming to Sinister Creature Con, as is Cheryl and Flynn from Twin Peaks. And the big ones, the two main events of the weekend, Doug Bradley and Ashley Lawrence from the Hellraiser franchise. And the big one, the big dog, Charlie,
My nemesis.
Kane Hodder is coming to Sinister Creature Con.
Watch the 7th one.
As to
I'll be really ready for it.
as to quote him in Death House, I will fuck you in hell.
Alright.
You know, I'm going to size him up first before I get too
Your best
ballsy about the whole thing,
your best bet is to just be the nicest possible guy to him.
which I usually am.
That's
Yes.
Charlie.
When's Charlie
Already.
really? If he's wearing that shirt,
Don't
Will not,
Charlie's not gonna wear
as
that
I
shit.
said before, will not be deliberately rude to somebody's face, but I will talk shit behind their back like a motherfucker.
Charlie, it makes my whole day when you say
hearing him say cock and motherfucker, like, just the little things in life.
So Charlie, what do you give Sleepaway Camp, Charlie? It hurts my heart to even ask the question.
Okay, now we're going from a scale from 1 to 5. Or are we going?
So we usually do 10, but
Okay, well, I'll get that. That seems
over enthusiastic.
Yes, that seems awfully an awfully large scale for this movie. Yeah, just because of the practical effects, and because I think the ending is truly original and would have been great had it had a better movie attached to it, I'm going to give it a 4. But
Oh,
I
shit.
think that's giving it a lot of credit. 4 out of 10. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Andrew, put that dick in my mouth, Kane. What do you give this movie?
Pat Johnson right there.
God,
You
just
said it's good dick, though, right?
you know what?
Yeah, he
Because
said,
I'm gonna give it a 6 for good dick.
I was gonna say, to quote like K2SO in Rogue One, he said, "This movie has good dick." That's exactly how he said it. This movie has good dick.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
You're sticking with 6?
I'm not sick of this.
I'm giving it a like.
A hard 6 or
I mean, I'll give it a stiff 6.
Or a floppy 6.
He said it was flopping all over the
flop-
place.
I mean, that's if it was a
floppy
cock,
six.
right? We're talking about dicks, so it's pointing up straight. It's good.
I'm gonna give this movie a 0.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, I thought this was the worst movie I've ever seen.
it is
I-
Jason X.
I fucking
Or
hated
Jason
this
Goes to
movie.
Hell.
I mean, I
And,
can play Birdemic
like,
for you, and that'll change your mind.
Felicia, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're a very nice lady, but this movie fucking sucks. Like, this movie did not need to be made.
So are you not doing her
From-
panel if she's doing one?
No, I'm not. Like, I honestly
A
don't
wise
have.
choice.
Yeah,
Send in the questions, I'll do the panel.
I honestly don't have anything to talk to this lady about. Like, this movie was fucking garbage.
Yeah,
So-
this is her
You
own.
can- you
How
can
much
talk-
red hot dick did you want to jump on set?
You can talk to her about how scarred she is for being like 14. And
She
seeing
was
so much
14,
dick.
yeah.
You know, luckily,
14 years old.
luckily Jay is all about this movie, and he's very excited to talk to her. He did it last time she was at Sinister Creature Con when Kassir was there.
And he did the panel then?
Oh yeah, John Kassir will just put on a one-man show.
Right.
You ask him one question, and he will just entertain you and have you in
Well,
tears.
Joe Bob Briggs is the same way. That's why this will be a good one for me.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
He's setting up some kind of a booty call.
He's doing something.
Oh.
Or he's saving
I'm only in
pictures
town
of,
for so long.
he's setting up pictures of red hot dicks
Just dicks everywhere.
so that, you know, he'll get announcements later.
How did that fly survive that? I just doused it with water and it just flew out.
You didn't give it enough dick.
It didn't get his dick down.
Oh, God. Cock, I'm sorry.
So yeah, this movie was. I mean, I apologize if Jason X made you feel how
It made me feel like that.
if this movie.
Hey, but this movie
feel-
made me feel way more uncomfortable.
Yeah, this is an uncomfortable movie.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's
And we
good.
should Google if there's been some kind of a molestation lawsuit.
You know, or if there was
No,
a
there was-
controversy about using such young actors and actresses, because in some scenes, like we were talking, the kids are like 8, 9 years
Well,
old.
no, it's like they literally it's kind of one of the first movies I guess that kind of like transgender like
Yeah.
real type thing. It's like I think it's like a cult film because it's
Yeah, it
like
is.
the only horror like
Right.
I guess gender inclusive movie.
Well, I don't know if it's gender inclusive, but it's
it's
I
terrifying.
will say that the twist at the end, with her being a boy, going back to '83, I'm sure that freaked a bunch of people in the movie.
yeah, I'm
theater.
sure it did. Yeah.
So
Damn, she got some DSLs after being in a fucking dick movie. I
Yeah,
just
she
looked at her
did.
picture.
Charlie.
all right. So virtual scare park. I feel like I need to take a shower after this.
I mean, you can just walk into a room with a cook. I mean, like, instead of making this a horror movie about the kills in this movie, if you just walk into every uncomfortable scene that like this movie makes you feel, I think that makes a great fucking house.
Why don't you have the cook following preteen girls around the park,
Scare zone.
going?
Oh no, you just walk around like you're a kid, 13, 14, with like just people's dicks and like eye height, because that's exactly what this movie is.
Hey, believe me, if you saw one of those guys in those short shorts coming after you, it would be scarier than seeing Jason walking in.
I mean, especially if there was nothing supporting, like
No,
Jimmy was saying, the
that's-
15-minute.
That's fair. If it's
The
some
pan out.
motherfucker running at me,
Yeah.
I will run faster than.
with me the chainsaw. You'll break your arm running away from a guy in short shorts.
So the director is the same person who wrote this.
Well, that says a lot.
I was gonna say it's comforting because there's not two fucking pervy people out there. There's only one, but it does say a lot.
I mean, it was good enough to where it warranted, 4 sequels?
It got a re-release.
In theaters?
This movie is insanely popular.
It
This
is.
movie
Yeah, it's a
got
cult.
released in November 14th of 1983, and it got re-released in May on the 25th of 1984.
Jesus.
It's because of the cult thing.
No, it's popular. It's very popular.
Yeah. I mean, I knew the name of it, and
Yeah.
just by reputation, but I've never
See,
seen
I
it.
thought I'd seen this one, but I think I saw the
wait,
return to it.
no. So it was a limited regional release in November of 83,
Oh.
and it had its premiere in Los Angeles in 84.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
So it went into wider release. 84. Okay. Kind of speechless there, huh, Jim?
Yeah. So virtual scare part.
Re-released the day.
This is where we're at right now. Ride-wise, we have
I don't think we've taken less time to discuss a movie all season.
No, I don't think we have either. I don't think it's
I think we summed it up with one word. Andrew,
cock.
there you go. Well, actually, more than one word.
Interesting fact.
Dick. I mean, the
film-
same
Baloney.
word. Keep on going. What we got?
This film was featured
One-eyed
on
boy.
episode 48 of the podcast, How Did This Get Made?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I need
gotta
to start
listen to that.
listening to that podcast.
It's so funny. They talk about Hereditary.
Oh,
Get the fuck out of here!
The guy
How did
said-
this get made? Podcast.
They
This
did-
movie.
They did one for Van Helsing, and the guy goes, "Well, Van Helsing wasn't that bad because he goes, I had to watch Hereditary before it." So-
that's
they go,
funny.
they go, Van Helsing is good as long as it's followed by Hereditary.
I mean, that's like saying that there's not any good Tom Brady jokes. There's some good Tom Brady jokes out there. He's still the best fucking football player of all time. So I'm sure there's some good Hereditary jokes. It's still the best horror movie.
Bruce Springsteen's sister is in Sleepaway Camp 3.
I don't care.
Well, that's not exactly something to be proud of.
The boss's sis is in Perv Camp 3.
Compare her career to his.
What career?
Yeah.
So ride-wise, we have the Ghostbusters simulator, and then the
Still holding up.
La Llorona
La Llorona.
River Cruise. So there's room for 5 more rides.
Holy shit.
It's gonna be a long year. Scare zone wise, we have Pet Cemetery 2019. That's
Sleepaway
that.
Camp.
Fuck you.
I want it just because I want Jimmy to
Should we all go for it just to watch?
I think, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's don't do it. Let's Ghostbuster write it.
What did you just call it?
Ghostbuster write it.
Ghost.
No, just
Buster it?
Yes, Ghostbuster write it. We're gonna filibuster you.
Oh, there you go.
There's Pet Cemetery 2019 is our scare zone. We have room for 4 left. Housewives, we have La Llorona again.
La Llorona.
Terrifier, Hellraiser. Those are 3 out of our 4 icons of the event. Double L, Pinhead, and Art the Clown are 3 of our 4 icons of the year. Also, maze-wise, we have the incomparable Jason Takes Manhattan, starring Kane Hodder. That maze is towards the back of the park. We have
As it
room.
should be.
We have room for 6 more mazes, and then we have yet to settle on what our stage show would be, but we're holding out for the week after Sinister Creature Con as we watch Ashley's film, Blood-Sucking Freaks, which I'm going to be honest, after this movie makes me way less nervous.
I mean, there's definitely won't be as many dicks.
Yeah.
Never say never.
I don't think you can make more dicks than this one. You just smile at me like, it's not true.
We'll see. If there's more dicks in it, I'll send a bag of dicks to you in Colorado.
Ooh, wow.
She'll do it too.
I know. I'm waiting for him.
You can play Sleepaway Camp in your room. Just tuck all those dicks into your waistband and walk down.
That's how I'm rolling Colorado.
They see
What's that in your
you
pants?
rolling. Red Johnson.
Just had him a boner.
A Sharpie in your pants? No, it's a bag of dicks.
There's a hard breath after that one, Andrew.
I mean,
Charlie, for the love of God, just say no.
For where?
Everything. Everything. Should it be a house, Charlie?
Yes.
Here we go.
Really? Go ahead and break down how you would want that to happen. The first scene you would walk into, Charlie, would be what?
A bag of dicks.
I think it should be like when the movie started.
So you see
As
the.
people come into the house,
they're assaulted by
Let him say it.
there should be a chef with dirty pants.
Trying to rape you, okay?
Standing on the steps. Saying guacamoles. No, Jim.
Does that
no.
change your opinion just a little bit?
No.
No. It shouldn't be anything. I wanted to just get that out of my system. No,
That
this
was a gut
Come on, Charlie. Ghostbuster me.
this one should never be anything. No, my reputation's at stake here as a horror film aficionado. No, it should never be anything. It should be buried. This movie should be burned, buried. What else can you do with a movie?
I mean,
You could remake it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Well, actually,
you know what?
yeah, you
This
could
actually
remake
would be
this
a
as
good
better
remake,
movie.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have the impact.
could we
No.
could we have the cross be just a
Yeah,
couple
you want to
of
be able to
dicks?
get away with.
You wouldn't be able, because it's been done. I mean, you gender reveal
But-
movies.
But pretend
Everything else had been done and they've redone it.
No.
But pretend that this movie was never made and they're making it right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
you
would
never.
You
get
would
away
never
with
be
that
able
many
to do.
dicks.
Yeah, you
No.
wouldn't.
They wouldn't get away with the first scene.
No.
I mean,
You'd never be able what.
not the wording, like the actions, because that happens in movies all the time still. But like not
And
that.
who's the target audience for this
Oh
movie?
fuck, who knows?
Because the kids are like 14 years old.
Me?
You're not-
I mean,
are
I'm
you
definitely-
gearing
yeah,
it towards
yeah.
14-year-olds?
No,
Well-
it's definitely geared towards older. Like,
I think so too, which
Yeah.
makes it even
It was-
more creepy.
It was geared to the underworld of perverts
I think
for
so.
the time. It makes me think of that. Fuck, what was that
I want to say
documentary
like
that I watched?
say it's probably like the people like the
The
counselors
abducted
age,
in plain
like
sight
from like
documentary.
16 to like 20.
Yeah.
That's where I would
Yeah.
shoot the
Oh
target
shit! It's the
audience.
guys from the league that do the How Did This
Yeah.
Get Made? Oh, right on.
Dude, that show's
Subscribe.
great.
So
There's some where it's like they shouldn't do them, and they still do. And then it makes you feel bad because you listen to it and you go, wow, that movie that I've loved forever is a piece of shit.
Oh.
Like they talk about Ninja Turtles 2. And you're like, how can you say that? Why did this get made? Then you listen to it and you're like, oh yeah, I guess that's.
what Toka?
But they have the fucking snapping turtle.
They talk about a whole thing how
Yeah, I love
the
the
turtles.
snapping turtle. Nom nom.
They talk about a whole thing how literally in the second movie the turtles never use any of their weapons because parents petitioned that they didn't want the turtles using their weapons because then their kids would want to use weapons.
Right.
So throughout the whole movie they don't use any of their weapons.
But in 3, they come back to the vengeance of samurais and fuck shit up.
Right.
Dude, Yeah, they need to do Ninja Turtles 3 because that movie's a piece of shit. That one.
They skipped that one. They did 2.
Even as a.
Which
even,
I'm like, how many do Secrets of the Ooze?
So, Charlie is no across the board, Andrew.
Across the board.
Andrew.
Absolutely.
You know what I want.
He wants the
Tell
chef
me.
as an icon.
I want this. Oh yes. Can we put the chef as the icon?
Stop
The
it.
last icon spot.
Can we do Angela as the icon? Like, but just have her running around with that stare, and then the
And
knife
dick.
with the dick hanging out. Like, I mean, that's pretty terrifying. Running around a park.
Why was she like growling at the end of the movie? Like she was sitting there with
She was just totally
cannibalistic.
Yeah, just totally
Feral.
had finally just lost control of everything.
Yeah, she cut off someone's head, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, she
she
just
cut off
remembered
that
that boyfriend.
boyfriend's hair.
Yeah, and it was
Incidentally, which really was a good
yeah.
prop.
Well, all
I mean,
the
very well
prosthetics.
done.
All the practical effects in this movie are good,
They are
Yeah.
good.
but the dicks take away from all of it.
They do. The dicks and the lousy script.
And the molestation.
To be honest with you, if
The pervy
all right,
nature
so
of
so just let me take the
kids.
dicks out of context for a minute, or maybe put them in one.
Put
I
them
think
in
that whatever you want, Charlie. But like, okay, if you think about it, they basically make you focus on everyone's dick in this movie,
Yeah.
and then at the end, you're
There's
still
a dick
surprised
reveal.
by a dick. When all there is in this movie is dicks.
So you're saying that
Where are you
all of
going?
it is
I honestly
foreshadowing.
I'm serious. I honestly think that was an intentional cinematography thing. And the way they dress
A
people,
massive foreshadowing.
they dressed men particularly like in these like clothes
to show off their dick.
Oh, absolutely. There's not a single guy in a baggy pair of pants. Even the old guy. I mean, he's probably the only one.
That
The old dude.
didn't
That's
have a bulge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone else, even
Well,
the
that
kids.
happens when you get older.
You need room for it to hang? Is that what's happening?
Oh my god.
Thanks, Andrew.
So yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and
house, scare zone, ride. I want it all. I want the canoe, fucking ride. I want to flip it over and be murdered by a tranny in the water.
It's a shame we already have a boat ride on this year's attraction.
I mean, you could just add it to it. Like, it's like a sleepaway camp. Oh!
Yeah, that sounds like a very shitty thing.
Thanks.
So let's go on the La Llorona ride featuring a scene from Sleepaway Camp.
You know the biggest problem in this movie? It's a scare park, right? Mm-hmm. This movie is not scary. Not one little bit
Just in
scary.
a judicial sense. Like, I'm afraid I need to, like, erase it from my history. Kind of scary.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a no. Across the board. Do you guys want to vote? Doesn't matter. It's still a
I'm
no.
gonna say no.
Just from reading the plot, I was like, no.
So, yeah, we look forward to meeting Felicia Rose at Sinister Creature Con. And I'm sorry, your movie's a massive steaming pile of
Yeah,
shit.
it is.
So that leads us into...
I'm sorry too, but I still think you're really hot. So let me just get that in there.
Oh my god, Charlie.
Alright, Charlie.
And that was Charlie saying that.
I'm sure she'll be excited to hear.
Oh, I hope Bev doesn't listen also.
Yeah, Donna doesn't
That
listen to it
could
either. It doesn't matter.
be problematic.
Just have her listen to a How Did This Get Made instead. And be
Yeah,
like, oh no,
right.
this is ours.
So next week we will be watching a montage of Tales from the Crypt episodes, the best Tales from the Crypt episodes published. You can actually watch some of the ones that we're watching. There's a best of Tales from the Crypt playlist on YouTube. We're going to be using that. If you want to, I may even just post throughout the week which ones we're going to be watching. So there is that next week, and then in 2 weeks, we'll be watching some Joe Bob Briggs.
All right.
And so both of those houses would be compilation houses. You would get like the best of Tales from the Crypt, and you could do like a Joe Bob Briggs Presents Haunted House with scenes from a bunch of old horror movies. Charlie's already
It's a
like,
great
we don't.
idea. I'm on board.
Yeah, Charlie doesn't even want to wait for 2 weeks. He's
No,
like, just put it in.
now.
Could even be the show.
Could even be a show.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Oh, actually, that would be perfect.
Yeah, it would
That's
be.
what Knott's did basically when they started up their Halloween event. Is they got Seymour, who was a horror show host, and they brought him in, and he basically put on a show. And when they were playing the movie, he was doing the commentary live, so you could sit in during the performance and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was like their big selling point
Yeah,
to get the Halloween haunt event started.
that's cool. I like that idea.
So those are our next two, leading up to Sinister Creature Con spring. It's going to be that's pretty dope.
That's my drinking cup at Sinister.
Nice.
Get him a Jason X.
For my pink lemonade.
Your pink lemonade? Sure. That's a lot.
Memories of pink lemonade.
It's gonna be a good time.
Move on.
Yeah, Kane, you're gonna miss out, my friend. I'm happy that you're getting to go do your art thing, but I'm sad that you, because I have a feeling this is gonna be the Sinister Creature Con to end all Sinister Creature Cons.
Where Kane Hodder beats the shit
Rub
out
it
of
in.
him.
Never.
I got your back, Charlie.
Can we?
I got your back.
I need
Alright,
I need that
Ash.
videotape for God's sake. I need something. I
think we should at least stage something between you and Kane Hunter. We'll film it, send it to Andrew. Holy shit, it happened!
I think what we need to do as
Can you just
well.
rip the shirt off you? Like wrestling move it?
Unfortunately, I'll probably go with this.
I think what we need to do as well is be doing like Instagram stories throughout the weekend type of a thing.
That's a great idea.
Are you guys going to ride with me up there?
I don't know what we're doing yet. We'll let you know.
Are you staying up there now?
I'm not going to stay up there.
Regardless if I get the time off or not, I'll be there. I'm gonna call in sick if I have to.
Oh, it's on air.
I don't care. None of them listen to this.
They're not cool with
Enthralling. Captivating stuff. Kane, do you have anything you want to say as you depart?
I love you guys.
Say it louder. Man.
I love you guys.
You
Ended
may,
on a dick episode. Couldn't have been better.
you may actually be back before the season is over.
I'll be back for next season.
As we
There's a lot of shit to fill. This is gonna be a long season.
Yeah.
Especially when we're getting
Don't fill it with garbage, okay?
Especially when we're getting
I'm gonna
winners.
send you guys fucking like little things. Like if you
Hey,
make
hey,
this,
don't worry. Puppet Masters is coming.
fuck you. Oh, you do not watch the Frighteners until I get back.
Excuse me.
Okay, we can watch Tremors.
Oh my god, yes, watch that.
I mean, I'm not eager to watch The Frighteners, to be honest with you. So, John's my new best friend now.
I love Frighteners.
See?
We're not gonna watch it.
But it's still one of my favorite things. The blooper when Michael J. Fox, we zoom in on him and he goes, "Doc," and he's like, "Oh shit, wrong." It's when the judge gets killed.
Oh god. It's good. It's a good fucking movie. That's what got me into horror, man.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. After getting that, like comedy horror, like became my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fuck you.
Damn.
And on that note, you guys have a good season.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for next week. We will be back for another episode of Campfire Chronicles. Maybe we'll get Chris Martin to come and take Andrew's spot. Get that love connection geared up between Andrew and Chris going into Sinister Spring.
Me and Chris already have love connection.
I'm talking about Chris and Charlie.
Okay.
Or Chris and Charlie.
Yeah.
Chris
Didn't
has
say
already
that.
confirmed Charlie. Another reason for you to get excited.
I am
He will be
excited.
there Saturday and
This
Sunday.
is my buddy.
Aw, yay.
Right?
It's not the same.
Well,
No, he was way happier.
it was a different relationship, if I can put it that way.
Okay. All
Chris
right.
requested the time off like forever ago,
Ooh.
from what I understand.
Thanks for listening. We will be back. You got one more line in you that you want to end it? You did that uncomfortable one
My
last week.
balls.